All right, so we have a very simple movement script for our cab, and let's name this taxi cab. So let's go ahead and make another script. I'm going to call this taxi collision. And a couple things I'm going to do is on my taxi cab here, come on, I'm just going to drag this into just below my taxi driver, just so they're by each other. And then I'm going to drag it in here so we could do some scripting. There we go. And let's decrease that. All right, so let's go and delete these for a second. So we're going to take a look at how we can register collisions. And forgive me, this is a little bit like what we did in our first game with the puzzles, but I think it's important to see how it works on 2D. So I can start typing on collider, on collision enter 2D, right? And then you can see there's an exit, a stay, and all this stuff. What does this do? So let me zoom out a little bit here. What we can do is as we collide to objects, we can just print like hit or something. And what this method does is, as long as it's on an object that has a collider, it'll register anytime we bump into something. So let's go ahead and duplicate this here. And, you could build this into your gameplay where you make this one, like the mass of this object 0.2, so it's a little bit easier. So when we press play here, and I'm going to go ahead and hit Control-Shift-C to outside of here so we can open this up. So boom, you can see, actually now that we know that this stuff is moving, let's go ahead and just get rid of this line here. And we shouldn't have, yeah, I'm just trying to get rid of this movement stuff. So let's save this. Let's make sure this one is saved. Let's clear this and let's try this one more time. Sorry about that. So I want to show you on collision enter 2D is whenever I bump into an object that has collision on it, we should register hit. See, it says hit. And then this one, which has less mass, moves a lot quicker, and it registered that as a hit. So what's cool about this is this method here is used to register whenever our object collides with something. And then based on what we collide with, we can do cool stuff. And we can change the image so that it shows that the taxi cab has received damage, all this cool stuff. So right now we could see by using this print or debug.log that it does work. And anytime we collide with something, this method is registering that hit. All right, so let's take a look at the other method, and it's just called on trigger enter 2D. And what does this do? Well, I'm going to go ahead and right click inside of here, and I'm going to create something called like a pickup. So I'm going to do 2D object here. I'm going to do sprites, and I will do a capsule. And this capsule is going to be some sort of pickup. And I don't know what it does yet because we're just sort of reviewing coding practices. Let's make this yellow, bright yellow, so it stands out, and we'll name this pickup. And we will add a component, and we're going to add a box collider 2D. I could go with a capsule collider, and that'll give us a nice smooth round edge, but I'm fine with this. Now, instead of leaving it as a collider here, we're going to turn it into a trigger. And what a trigger allows you to do is it allows you to not only drive through this, but as we go through this, here, actually, let's just copy this line. And instead of hit, we'll name it triggered. It allows you to pass through an object and still register the collision, the trigger. So let's go ahead and press play here and see what happens. And I'm going to open up this guy. So let's go here. Boom. I'm getting hits and then triggered, which means I went through the trigger. And the way that I did that again is I just turned on is trigger, which means it's a trigger. Now you could use either one of these methods for essentially different uses, right? Like I can make this a power up or have it change the color of my car, right? Like it's just this one allows you to go through it and this one allows you to register collision hits and you still want the object to be there, like that you collide with. I mean, maybe you want to swap it out with something that's broken. It's up to you how we build out this game.